my name is Tosro, and I tried to look into Minoxidil for the beard to the best of my abilities, to look not only in different websites and different videos, but also Facebook pages and more. I've actually been in a Facebook page for, it's been about 2 months now, looking into what people have to say, just all of that so I could build on knowledge and pass that on to you to try to give you guys the best guide I possibly could. Now, of course, this is something which is quite subjective. It works in different ways for everyone. So I want you guys to keep in mind as you watch this video. This may not work for you. You know, some of the things that I say may differ. This is just not only my personal experience, but also the experience that I've seen from other people as to what works best. And of course, as I said, I did quite a bit of research for this, so it would mean a lot to me if you guys could like, and if you guys could subscribe to my channel as well, especially for channels smaller than mine. Trust me, even one subscriber makes all of the difference. And if you guys would like to follow me on Instagram, I'd really love to get to 4,000 followers. Not only that, but you can also see my beard growth journey a little bit more personally too, through the photos. Once again, it would mean a lot to me. I'm too early in my journey to be able to tell you guys whether this actually works for me or not, but I'm going to get into the details as to how to use it. And finally, in the end, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply the Minoxidil myself, and I'll show you guys exactly how I do that. I've done a video similar to this before in which I essentially did a guide to Copenhagen grooming as to how I apply that, and I'm going to leave that in the description below. And I'm also going to leave my review of the Copenhagen grooming beard growth kit, because that's another beard growth kit that I've tried. So if you do want to check out the different possibilities in the market, I would advise you to also check that video. Firstly, let's start a little bit broad. What type of Minoxidil should you buy? Should you buy foam? Should you buy liquid? Is there a particular brand? So from what I've seen is there's a few different things as to which one you should buy, if there's a particular brand or anything like that. I personally myself went for the, almost dropped my little thingy. I went for the Kirkland Minoxidil, this one here. It was a Kirkland signature. Yeah, that's the one. So I bought a 3-month supply. I think it was about like £22. In the UK is a lot more expensive than in other countries, I must say. But essentially, from what I've seen, as long as it's not some kind of like cheap looking, you know, like, I don't know, like dollar store type brand, then it should be absolutely fine. You know, if you guys do want to go safe, the one that I've seen, which happens to be the most popular, is the Kirkland signature. Now, in terms of whether you should do foam or whether you should do liquid, liquid is the most popular. And the reason why liquid is the most popular is because it's just the one that there's most of and that people seem to talk about the most. Now, what I will say is this, and this is very important, although foam has been said to have been a little bit more expensive, if you're someone that has a problem with dry skin, you'd really want to invest in foam. That's better, you know, because you're not just going to buy like a month's supply. You're going to buy about 3-6 months, etc. So if you think that you have dry skin, the best thing for you to do, I would say, is for you to invest in some foam Minoxidil. In terms of efficiency, whether Minoxidil works better in liquid or in foam, what I've seen is, and I've looked into various different things, again, being in the group and whatnot, and from what I've gathered, there's, broadly speaking, not much of a difference, and if there is a very little difference between those two. So again, if you are someone that has very dry skin, then I would recommend for you to maybe consider investing in the foam instead. However, many people do get dry skin. My skin actually sometimes gets quite flaky. Like, you know, earlier on today, it was, I wouldn't say quite flaky, but it was a little bit flaky. Early on in my journey, there was a lot more flakiness. Now, essentially what I did about that is I just used moisturizer. So in your journey using Minoxidil, one of the things that most people are going to need is moisturizer, just to make sure that your skin isn't dry, because essentially Minoxidil has alcohol, which makes your skin much drier. So your skin might get a little bit flakier, might get a little bit red. That's common. Just make sure that it doesn't get irritated. And if you do choose to use the moisturizer, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you apply at least 1 hour after your Minoxidil application. Don't apply it straight afterwards. If you want to be safe, wait a couple more hours, but essentially that is what I would say. And in terms of moisturizer, castor oil is the most common one that I've seen that people use when they're doing their growth with the Minoxidil. So again, if you want to go for the safe, I'd go for that one, for the safe option. I mean, any will do. The one that I used was just some like random moisturizer that I had in my house, and that worked out fine for me. And now it's not really much of an issue in terms of the flakiness. It's gone away a lot. Also, another thing which you need to bear in mind is hair shedding is quite normal during the periods of that you're using the minoxidil, because essentially what's going to happen is the hair is going to fall out, the vellus hairs, so the blonde vellus hairs are going to start falling out for then the darker terminal hairs to be able to come through. So this is something which is normal, and you know, this might even, I've even heard of some people happening to their head hair, which is a little bit strange, but apparently this is also normal from what I've seen too. So just do keep that in mind. Obviously there's some other stuff, like there's a small chance for you to get some, like, I don't know, some like worse things happening. So broadly what people say is like check with your doctor or whoever it is if you think that that could be a potential issue. So do keep that in mind as well. In terms of after you've applied the minoxidil, if you'd like to take a shower or if you'd like to wash your face, again, wait at the very least 1 hour. The numbers say that it's 1 to 5 hours. So if you want to be extra safe, then go up to 5 hours. Remember guys, this is basically like the golden juice, you know, this is the thing. So, you know, you really want to be making the most out of it. Mate, it seems like I'm talking about drugs. So that essentially means wait 1 to 5 hours until you wash your face or until you take a shower or anything like that, preferably. If you do want to take a shower, like normally what I do is I just take a shower like this and I wash my hair or whatever, and I try my best not to get it on my face. Obviously you can't always do that, but just try your best with that. Okay, now in terms of what beard length is ideal for you to have whilst you're applying minoxidil, I've heard a couple of different things, okay, but I have heard some consistency in some things. Ideally, I believe what seems to be the best is a very short trim beard. What I have right now is a clean shave. I essentially heard from most people that clean shave is the best, and I'll get onto why in a minute. But essentially, if you did watch my video in which I talked about the Copenhagen beard growth kit, they didn't advise for you to clean shave because apparently that killed the vellus hairs. However, I've seen many people talk about how they did a clean shave and it still worked out for them just fine, because essentially what you want to do is you want to get the minoxidil to absorb as much as it can on your face, not for it to be just stuck in your hair. And that's exactly why people do not advise, this is the consensus. The consensus is that they do not advise for you to have a big, long beard if you're doing this. If you're applying it to the chin area and you've got lots of hair here, you know, it's going to be difficult for the liquid to actually get there. So make sure that that is nicely trimmed. Okay, so in terms of the extra things that you're going to need, aside from just the minoxidil, there is essentially 3 main ones, and I'll get onto each one of them. So firstly, it's the derma roller. What it does is basically makes loads of little holes in your skin, and what that allows your skin to do is, I've heard some people use that and that alone for beard growth, but I don't believe that that works on its own. But also what it does is it opens the pores in your skin so it can absorb the minoxidil more. This is quite a popular thing that people do in their minoxidil growth journeys. I got like a 0.5 millimeter one, I believe. So that's the size of the, or the amount, I don't really know. What is it? Yeah, 0.5 millimeters. Yeah, that seems to be the standard basically. I went with that and that worked out just fine for me. Maybe do go for that one. If you are choosing to bring anything along with you in your journey, do that. If you do choose to do that, however, wait about 18 hours after you've derma rolled to be able to apply again. What I do is, let's say I apply minoxidil in the morning, a little bit later on in the day, again 5 hours later or so, I just derma roll and then I skip the next application where I have the next one in the morning, because the best time to have these is early on in the morning and later on in the evening. So essentially what I would do is, obviously I'd skip the morning one the next day, but you do want to wait, otherwise your skin is just going to get way too irritated. That's what I would go for. And yeah, I just need to emphasize that point once more. If you are taking it, remember, do it in the morning, preferably as soon as you wake up. Some people say right before you go to sleep. I have tried that and I don't think that is a good idea, purely because it just feels like the liquid goes all over the pillow, so it's not a nice thing. Maybe do an hour or so, maybe half an hour before you go to sleep. As long as you're doing it in the morning and later on in the day, it should be fine. The other thing that I've seen people use a lot is exfoliator. Obviously, I think that this is one, this is just one that I could find in my house. Again, you don't need to make it too fancy. If you want to get one, you can. I've not seen any particular exfoliators being used. The purpose of the exfoliator is to just be able to wipe out all of that dirt off of your face, so when you are applying, your skin can absorb it as much as possible. If you are using that, also do skip one application. But that is one which is, it's fairly easy to get if you do want to try it. It is less popular than the derma roller. So if you do get something, get the derma roller. I mean, I got mine for like £7 or something, so it should be about like $10, maybe even cheaper. So if you do get anything, do get the derma roller. But if you do want to get an exfoliator, that's good as well. The third one that I've seen people use is supplements. Now, you don't see any supplements in my hands. Why is that? I just think that, in my personal opinion, now many people might disagree with this, so this is where it's going to get a little bit political, if you will. I don't believe that having to use these extra supplements is something which is necessarily worth it. I mean, lots of these things just supplement stuff that you'd have on a good, healthy, balanced diet anyway. As long as you're making sure that you're getting enough sleep to keep your testosterone levels high. Again, you're having a good balanced diet. If you want to lift as well, go to the gym, hit the gym. That's very helpful as well. But just keeping a good general healthy diet and healthy living, it genuinely, from what I've seen, it seems to be decent enough as opposed to just literally taking supplements. What you guys need to remember is you're going to have to incorporate this into your routine. So don't do anything that's going to make you go a little bit too overboard and is going to make you give up, because you do need to stick to this. This is something that you need to stick to. Heck, if you think that the derma roller is too much, don't even go for that. Just as long as you stick to the liquid on its own, but just make sure that you're consistent. Be realistic as to what you can do. Once again, in terms of actual results, I will upload my results after I'm done with a 3-month supply, and then after that I'll do it for when I do the 6-month supply. So do make sure that you are subscribed, and do make sure that you have clicked the bell as well for when that does come out. The best gains that I have seen is from 6 months onward. So what I'd say is you do want to keep going for the routine for the very least 6 months, because then from that point onwards, that's where I've seen the best gains. You know, it is 6 months to 2 years that I normally see the best gains. You need patience, you need to stick to it. But the results that I have seen are insane. Whether it's going to work for me or not, once again, I will let you guys know. But all I'm saying is have patience, because the results should come, but the bigger, better results are from that 6-month period onwards, as I did say. I'd say that one of the biggest negatives about this, obviously aside from the irritation and whatnot, you know, that can be manageable, is that I have seen 1, 2, maybe 3 people reporting that they lost their beard after they stopped doing the minoxidil routine. Now, this is something which is like strange, because I have seen others that stopped using it after they completed their journey and it was fine. But this is something which I feel like it's important for you guys to know. So essentially, it was just some people, you know, they had the beard all good and everything, that they stopped taking it after a while, that it got interrupted or something, and then they started losing facial hair. So do please keep that in mind for when you are doing this and going ahead with this. Okay, so now we will move on to the actual application. So I will do the application for the full beard, but yours may vary, and this is just my personal way of doing it. Before anything, wash your hands and face with warm water. Some people like to use a hot towel, but in my opinion, that's just way too much effort. So after you've washed your face, dry your face, make sure that there's no liquids in your face. When applying, make sure that you get 1 milliliter, regardless of how much you're doing, unless you're doing a tiny little spot on your beard. Some people like to use the dropper thingy, I don't really know the name, to spread it, but when I tried that, it would just drip. So this is how I actually do the application. Apply 1 drop to the sideburns and 3 on the cheek. Let the droplets fall a little bit and then mix it all together. Do another drop on the lower cheek. Apply another drop on the side and under your jawline. Repeat the same process on the other side. Remember not to squeeze too hard, otherwise you won't have enough to do this. Remember, you're going to have to do this twice a day in terms of the application, in the morning and in the later times of the night. Afterwards, move on to the chin. I personally do 3 drops starting from under my lips. I let it drop once again, and then I mix it all in a circular motion, and finally drop for the lower chin. The throat area, especially the upper throat, is a little bit more difficult, so try to just let the drop fall again, but be careful for it not to fall. Maybe try to squeeze it on your lower chin and rub it whilst it's gone a bit further down. Do it once more on your throat. This is still important to get a fuller looking beard, so please do not dismiss the throat area. So I leave the mustache for last in case I do run out by the time I get to it, but you can do 1 drop on the central part of the mustache. But if you do have some extra, just drop on the sides and rub it down towards your chin as if it was a handlebar mustache. So guys, that was it. Thank you so much for watching. If you do appreciate the full guide that I've done, once again, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me out. And finally, where I got a lot of this information from was not just research, but it was also a Facebook group called the Minox Beard Spot. So I'm going to leave the link for that down below if you guys do want to consider joining it and just keeping up with other people's questions and other people's routines. I'll leave the link down below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.